Yes, students, in this video, I will give you a clarity with respect to the treatment of house property loss under both the default tax regime and optional tax regime. Before we learn about the treatment of house property loss, let us try to understand, sir, what is the negative impact if the assessee is following the default tax regime given under section 115 BAC while computing the income under the head house property. So there are totally three negative impact, guys. What are those I have given here? Let us see one by one. First one, interest deduction of rupees either 30,000 or 2 lakh depending upon the situation under section 24 subsection B for a self-occupied property or unoccupied property will not be allowed under the default tax regime. That means if an assessee is following the default tax regime given under section 115 BAC, then the income from self-occupied property will always be nil, guys. That is zero. Okay. Then coming to second and third point. Second and third point is with respect to loss treatment, guys. Let us see it. Second one. Set off of current year house property loss against other heads of income. That is, inter-head adjustment is not allowed. Other heads means what? Inter-head adjustment. Yes, sir. So maximum is if assessor is following the default tax regime and if we have a loss from house property in the current year, let it be any property, self-occupied, let out or deemed to be let out, he can adjust it only within the same head. Sir, can he adjust it against other heads of income? No, not possible. Sir, can he carry forward it to the next year? No, not possible. So maximum is current year house property loss can be adjusted only within the same head and without any monetary limit. Okay, sir. Then the third one. Third one is with respect to brought forward loss. Set off of brought forward self-occupied house property loss against current year house property income. Guys, first of all, you should know a general rule. That is, if a loss is brought forward, we can adjust it only within the same head. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, if assessee has brought forward house property loss, which was self-occupied, means self-occupied house property. Yes. Can he adjust it against the income from house property within the same year? In the same year, within the same head, can he adjust? No, he cannot. He cannot. Intra-head also not allowed. However, the green part. Brought forward loss from let out house property can be adjusted within the same head only if there is a condition, subject to condition. What is it? Only if assessee had followed the optional tax regime in the year of loss, guys. So in the year of loss, if assessee had followed the optional tax regime, he would have been allowed to carry forward that loss, right? Yes, sir. So in the current year, assume he is following default tax regime. Can he brought forward the house property loss which is let out and can he adjust it within the same head, that is house property? Yes, he can adjust it. I will give an example. Listen here. In the current year, assessee is following. In the current year, assessee is following default scheme. Okay, na? Yes. In the last financial year, okay, or last previous year, assessee was following optional scheme. Now he had a loss from house property last year. Check, is it from self-occupied property? If it is a self-occupied property, can he carry forward? Can he adjust it? No, not possible. Sir, what if it is a let-out property or deemed to be let-out property? Can he adjust it? Yes, he can adjust it. But within the same head. Within the same head and there is no monetary limit for it. Got it? So please be careful. This was tested in May 2026 exam, guys. So that is why I'm stressing on this point. And if by chance, if question is silent about which tax regime the assessee followed in the last financial year or in the last previous year or in simple in the year of loss, if the question is silent about which regime did the assessee follow, then you can assume that assessee followed optional tax regime and give a note for it. Got it? That is only if question is silent. Okay, done with it. Let us come to this point. Treatment of house property loss. I have presented by way of chart. Let us learn it, guys. So when it comes to loss, there are two categories of loss: current year loss or brought forward loss. Okay, whatever we carry forward from the current year, for the next year we call it as brought forward loss. So for current year loss, we have both the option: intra-head, within the head, inter-head, that is against other heads. Yes, sure. We will try to understand. So first let us deal with current year loss. In the current year, if the assessee has any loss from house property, whether it is let out, deemed to be let out, or self-occupied, can he adjust it against the income from other house properties? Yes, he can adjust it. Within the same head, he can adjust it without any monetary limit. Okay, sir. There is no monetary limit for it. Coming to the second point. Sir, if he cannot adjust within the same head because he has only loss from house property, he doesn't have any income under the head house property. Can he adjust such loss from house property against other heads of income? Yes, he can adjust, but maximum 2 lakh per year. Maximum 2 lakh. Whether that loss is from self-occupied property or let-out property, doesn't matter. Maximum you can adjust it against other heads of income is 2 lakh. And other heads of income means, sir, there are 4 heads, no, sir. Each head can I adjust to 2 lakh? No, no, no. All remaining 4 heads put together, 2 lakh, guys. Maximum 2 lakh per year. Got it? Inter-head adjustment. But the twist is here. If assessee is following the default tax regime, then this is not allowed, guys. Then this is not allowed. Okay. Sir, what if assessee doesn't have any income from other rates also? He has only loss from house property, or else he has loss from house property more than 2 lakh, and he could adjust only 2 lakh against other rates. Remaining loss, what will he do, sir? He can carry forward. He can carry forward. For example, assume the assessee had house property loss, that is let out property, 3 lakh loss he had. Only 2 lakh he could adjust here. Remaining 1 lakh, can he carry forward, sir? Yes. Or else other example is, assume the assessee had a loss from house property, but he doesn't have income from other rates. So can he carry forward such loss? Yes. So please be careful. Carry forward is allowed only when this and this is not possible. And when you carry forward, you can adjust the such loss only within the same head, within next 8 years. Got it? Which I have given here. Okay. But if assessee is following default tax regime, here also it is blocked. Can he carry forward the loss? No, guys. It cannot carry forward the loss. So if I combine both of these points under default tax regime, the assessee cannot adjust house property loss against other heads of income and he cannot carry forward it. Whether it is loss from self-occupied property, let out property or deemed to be let out property, he cannot do it, guys. So maximum, if assessee is following default tax regime, he can adjust the loss only within the same head in the same year. That's all. Got it? Yes. So once I carry forward the loss for the subsequent year, it would be called as brought forward loss. And brought forward loss can be adjusted only within the same head within 8 years, guys. Within 8 years. And even for this, there is no monetary limit. Okay. But if assessee is following the default tax regime, then, sir, can he adjust the brought forward loss? No. If it is from a self-occupied property, you cannot adjust it. If it is from a self-occupied property, you cannot adjust it. Sir, what if it is from a let-out property or deemed to be let-out property? Then, listen here. If assessee was following the optional scheme in the last year, that is in the year of loss, he would have been allowed to carry forward, correct? He was following optional regime. That means he was allowed to carry forward. Yes. And in the current year, he is following default scheme. Can he adjust such loss? Yes, he can adjust it only if it is from let-out property or even deemed to be let out property. The treatment for let out and deemed to be let out is same to same, guys. So you can adjust it. Yes, sir. Hope you understood. Yes. Chalo. So this is the complete summary of the negative impact of the default scheme under the head house property as well as the treatment of house property loss, guys. As many students were asking me the doubts with respect to this, I thought I would clarify this through a video. Hope it was helpful for you. You want me to repeat? You want me to repeat quickly? Yes. Listen. If assessee is following the default tax regime, then what is the negative impact while computing the income under the head house property? For housing loan, that is interest on housing loan which is taken for self-occupied property is not allowed under section 24B. So if assessee is following the default regime, then the income from self-occupied property will always be nil. Okay. Then if assessee has a house property loss in the current year, let it be from any house property, whether let out or self-occupied, he cannot adjust it against other rates of income. Okay. Then if he has a brought forward loss from self-occupied property, he cannot adjust it within the same head in the current year. Sir, what if the loss is from let-out property? Then check in the year of loss which scheme is followed by the assessee. If assessee had followed the optional tax regime in the year of loss, then in the current year, even though he is following the default regime, he can adjust such loss within the same head. Within the same head, guys. Hope you guys got it. All the best, guys. Take care.